Hello, film fans. Welcome to All the Film Things. I'm your host, Elizabeth. Thank you for listening. If you're enjoying this podcast, please leave a review and a rating. Also follow All the Film Things on Instagram for updates and more film things. For today's episode, one of my favorite hidden gems that just so happens to star my tied for favorite actress of all time is at the focus. It's a film that I endlessly analyze, so there's so much to unpack that will likely be excluded in this episode, but I am already hoping to dive deep into this film in another episode in the future. Today, we are talking about Jason Reitman's 2011 comedy drama film, Young Adult, starring Charlize Theron. Joining me today is former broadcaster, executive producer, writer, actress, and proud cat mom, Vesta Millard. Vesta, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. It's my second time.
Your second time?
I know.
The last time was a while ago, back in October 2024.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Can you believe it?
It seems on one hand like it was just yesterday, and on the other hand like it was like maybe 10 years ago.
I know, now that we're like in the same setup recording, it seems like, okay, it's very familiar now, but it was a while ago. So I'm thrilled that you're back on.
Well, thank you for having me back again. And I'm so proud of how well you're doing with the podcast.
Oh, you're very kind. Thank you. I'm definitely proud of it. And I'm very excited to be talking with you about this fascinating character study of a film.
And the first time I've seen it, thanks to you. And I'm so grateful that I had a chance to watch it.
Had you heard of this film at all?
I had not.
Oh, okay. So I'm on the edge of my seat. I know you liked it. But what did you think of the film?
It was a very interesting character study, especially of the main character, our lead actress, Charlize Theron. I can tell you that I was absolutely dumbstruck by her performance in this. She is a gorgeous woman, and I've seen this happen in other films with other actresses. When they're very, very beautiful, you tend to just kind of assuage their talents. And she did so much in this movie that I was just blown away. Interesting character to portray, and not exactly the most likable character in the world for many reasons. But I'm glad I got to watch it, if not just for her performance alone.
Yeah. We all have characteristics of Mavis within us. She represents our not so proud moments in our life.
Our most basest desires and the way that she communicates. She, as a character, Mavis is very angry and very resentful and very frustrated. And obviously the point of the movie is that she's still living back in the past.
Yes.
Which I think a lot of us have problems with, is just reflecting on, but then moving forward and kind of forgetting elements of our past. But the whole movie is based upon her finding an old boyfriend, and somehow in this delusionary world of hers, in spite of him being married with a new baby, feeling that she even has a chance to get back together with him, and not worried about the ramifications and the fallout.
She does not seem to be at all in fear. She is so convinced that he is unhappy, that she can get him back, and it's honestly shocking to watch at times. Did you happen to watch the trailer ahead of time?
I think I did, yes.
You did? Okay, so I hadn't seen the trailer, but I watched it for the first time ahead of this discussion, and the trailer gives so much away, and it's kind of skewed to where she truly does not have a chance. But as someone watching it without the trailer, you're kind of wondering, will Buddy sway? Will he go with Mavis? Is there any hint of that? But the trailer kind of makes it clear, and it is a hard film to market, but the trailer makes it kind of clear that there's no chance, and it's all kind of just watching this woman
unravel.
Crash and burn. Yeah, unravel is a great word. Yes. I did want to mention, it is your second time on the podcast, and we were promoting your film Time Will Tell last time, and later we're going to be talking about your next short film of the Witch Diaries, Sister of the Shadows, which will be released soon, and I'm very excited to learn all about that later in this episode. It's funny, you had a very opposite experience to Young Adult than I did, because I've seen this film many, many times over the course of about 10 years. So I don't remember the first time I watched the film. but I watched it because I'm a big Charlize fan.
Okay, I was going to say, what draws you into this film? Why watch it so many times?
I find it utterly fascinating, the character of Mavis. Sometimes when I was younger, I could understand her more. Now I'm a little bit more distant. I hadn't seen the film for about a year before this until preparing for this episode. So it had been some time since I watched it, but I watched it because I became a Charlize fan. In 2017, I had seen Fate of the Furious, in which she plays a villain, brilliant villain. And
I haven't seen that film.
People like argue about like all the Fast and Furious movies, and Christopher Nolan, who directs her in her latest film, The Odyssey, always champions the series. And I personally find that the first film that she's in, the 8th film, The Fate of the Furious, is genuinely good. And she's just a lot of why I say that is because she's just such a great villain. She is kind of terrifying in that. And you kind of see hints, and she has played characters like Mavis, where she's unlikable and she does mean things. And going back to Monster, one of her most famous performances as Eileen Wuornos, the way she's portrayed, you can have empathy towards her, but you can very much tell that she's doing all the wrong things. What she's doing is just terrible.
The character.
Yeah, of course, her character, and more so in Monster, of course. But between The Fate and the Furious, and especially Atomic Blonde, that's really solidified me being a fan of Charlize. I walked out of Atomic Blonde and I just kind of felt, I couldn't put a word to it at the time, but the word is empowered. And I feel that way when I watch some of her interviews and some of her films. She is just so authentic in herself. She doesn't take herself too seriously. She seems very honest. She gets vulnerable. She's had quite a life. And I don't know, I'm just amazed by her. She's one of the most versatile performers of our time. And part of why I wanted to release this episode around the beginning of August was because her birthday is August 7th.
Oh, she's a Leo.
She is, yeah, she's a Leo. But she recently said in an Odyssey interview, she doesn't really relate to Leos. She's more of a Virgo, she says. Interesting.
Probably because she's hardworking and driven. Yeah,
very hardworking, very driven. She's a producer and actress, and she can do her own stunts. She can do seemingly anything except singing. She says that's her weakness.
Oh, okay.
And she had to sing for this film, and she hated it.
Oh, my goodness. I love that there are many beautiful women now that are thinking outside of the box and taking unusual roles. It used to be that gorgeous women were cast as the ingenue, the sweet girl. And they're women like Margot Robbie, Emma Stone. These are beautiful women, but they're, like you said, they are taking on roles of villains. That's the most juiciest role. Everyone knows that. But I remember in acting school when we were talking about how do you get into the mindset of, like a serial killer? How do you portray that realistically without the human in you being just stunned and shocked by what you have to do on screen? And I remember being coached to say, well, you can't think of that person as a bad person. You're labeling them. You're putting the label of villain on them. Obviously, that person, especially if it's based on someone in real life, did what they did for a reason. And you need to get into your mindset of their mindset in order to portray them accurately without these labels and the conditioning that we put on these roles. And it's hard to do. It's very hard to do.
Especially depending on the character, someone like Eileen Wuornos versus Mavis. I know Charlize said she really wanted to find the person within Mavis, aside from the despicable things she does. Despite her mean-spiritedness, she wanted to find the human being underneath. And she does that because there's these moments that are more vulnerable, and then you can really feel empathetic towards her, despite, again, the mean-spiritedness, being rude, saying just terrible things to people.
I mean, the gumption that it would take for a character to show up at an ex-boyfriend's house years after having been with them, and now they have a new life, and you deliberately trying to disrupt that life because you still think you have a chance. Why do you think that she is so rooted in the past?
Well, Charlize has described her as undergoing an arrested development. She kind of stopped aging at like 16. And the scene where she visits her parents kind of gives subtle hints to what her childhood looked like with her parents. And Charlize believes that she was given a lot of boundaries and that she got away with a lot of things that maybe teens and children wouldn't have gotten away with. She said her mother certainly wasn't going to let her get away with the things that Mavis was able to. Because when she says, I think I'm an alcoholic, and her mother just laughs at her.
Well, she plays it down.
Yeah.
It's like her parents don't take her seriously.
No.
And she is mainly emotionally immature. I mean, she's obviously never grown up, hence the title young adult.
Yeah.
She's still in that mindset of I can do anything I want and I just want to have fun with my life. She's not writing the pages of the book that her editor wants, so she's kind of refuting any kind of adult responsibility. I mean, we all do. I mean, it'd be fun to still eat cereal and watch Saturday morning cartoons and live in that world, but it's unrealistic. So she refuses to admit that there's no chance in hell that she's going to get back with her ex-boyfriend, and that, you know, she's just kind of spinning her wheels through most of the movie.
Yes.
Talk to me about the friend. I found...
friend?
Yes.
Matt Freehoff?
Yes.
Okay.
That character, because he's injured in a way that she's not. Because he talks about in high school how he had been bullied and honestly assaulted. And how
brutally
it physically...
assaulted.
Yes.
Left for dead.
Yes, and how it changed his life, how he must cope now. He's like the antithesis of who and what she is. I loved that character.
That's a great character. And, you know, when you're acting opposite Charlize Theron, you have to bring your A game. Like,
He's wonderful, and I had never seen him before.
Really? He's more, I think he's an actor, but he's also a comedian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it was a very serious role that he played.
Definitely serious role. I read that he got an acting coach for this role because he recognized the nuance of the script. And again, going against Charlize, he was like, I have to bring it. There's no way I can do poorly in this performance. And he was great opposite her. I've seen most of her films. There are people who don't quite
measure
rise
up
to the occasion. And he did. And that's really impressive.
I have another question for you regarding him. I found it very interesting that she chooses to sleep with him.
Yes.
I mean, you kind of sort of see it coming, but then you think, why? Why does she feel like she needs to do this?
The way it's portrayed is so like effortless. It's very seamless, but it is shocking to see that.
It is.
happen.
But there's almost a sweetness to it. It's like she's embracing who he is. But I mean, they're never going to be together. They're not expecting a relationship here.
No.
So it's purely hooking up for the hooking up's sake, or is it her way of saying thank you to him because he's the one guy who has been supporting her, actually kind of acting like a mentor.
He's telling her the truth at times.
Yeah, it is, and the truth is
direct.
painful.
Very painful. Those moments where she's hit with the truth are some of the greatest moments of her performance in the film. You can see her calculating what to do next. And I can't wait to get into those scenes. But yeah, why does she sleep with him? That's something that's always stunned me. I've watched it many times. And I think she was just very vulnerable, and she just needed
to be comforted.
She needed to be comforted. She's so lonely. She's
lost.
So empty. She's lost. What she tells him before they hug is she says, hide me.
Yes.
That too is a very interesting line. And then he hugs her. It takes her a moment before she embraces him.
All right.
And then I think it's her initiating.
She does.
Yeah.
She does. I don't know. It's certainly an unusual moment in the film.
Yeah.
But they keep coming back to each other. Because, as I said, he's almost her sounding board.
Yeah.
He's her comfort in the movie because at first he's annoyed, but they keep getting kind of thrown together. I think that's what the writer does. Because Patrick Wilson doesn't pay her the time. I mean, he's tempted, like maybe for a split millisecond, but then he realizes the value of family.
She acts on his weak points.
And she's a beautiful woman, irregardless.
Yes.
I mean, you know, a lot of people would be tempted to stray if your ex-flame shows up and says, hey, let's go.
She must not be used to being turned down.
Yes.
Because of her beauty. I mean, a scene early on is she goes on a date, and this guy's telling her about the most rewarding experience of his career, and she's like, ugh, gross. Like, yeah, that sounds awful. And he's like, yeah, it's one of the most rewarding experiences. She says, of course. We only see her, and it's a slow zoom. Classic New Hollywood. Love that. And then we cut to them in bed the next morning, and he's like on her. So if any other person pretty much said those sort of things, that would be off the table, right?
Yeah.
But because of her and her beauty, how do you say no to her, right?
Right. And it's a movie. So, I mean, obviously it furthers the plot along, moves things along, progresses.
The first few moments before the opening titles are really kind of fascinating to Mavis and her lifestyle, which I do have in my outline here. But before I read the IMDb plot summary, were you particularly a fan of Charlize before?
I've seen her in other movies, yes, but this one blew me away. Her performance. I find that now I think of her as a formidable actress, where before I did not.
Really?
Yeah, she's that good in this part, in this role. And it's unconventional, as I said. Yeah. What is Mavis? Who is Mavis? She's obviously troubled. Some would even say mentally ill in some regard. She's definitely delusional about her own life and the lives of others. So it's such an interesting role. And I'd love, like, if she were sitting here right now, I would talk to her as an actress and say, how did you do this? What was the research that went into this? Obviously, she worked with a director in making her as realistic as possible. But let's be honest, you don't come across a Mavis in real life too often.
No, and I think if you do, they kind of can conceal it. Yeah,
I mean, it's someone you wouldn't want to be friends with, and you would kind of almost say, okay, lady, sure, whatever. I mean,
Charlize once said that she would get a drink with Mavis, but she's never letting her near her boyfriend.
Yeah, there it is. And she's never letting her take over.
No.
For Mavis, I think the whole movie is a journey about finding herself.
Yeah. But there's no redemption arc for her.
Well, not yet. Not yet.
It might be coming.
But yeah, I mean, we almost kind of need a sequel. Like her and Dolce, is that the little dog?
Dolce. Oh, poor Dolce.
Well, Dolce's her emotional support animal.
But she doesn't use Dolce as her emotional support animal. That's what partially like...
But she loves him.
Well, towards the end, she shows love towards Dolce. Yeah. But there was a point when she goes to meet Buddy, and Dolce's on the bed, like, hoping that she's brought... Like, the acting for the dog, that's really impressive. The dog is, like, on the bed, and she's completely ignoring the dog. And the dog is, like, excited. Are we going to go somewhere? And then Mavis says nothing. She leaves. And then the dog goes to the edge of the bed and is standing
and
there.
Waiting.
And just a little whimper. It's so sad. And then even when she goes into the hotel room, there's a point where she's sitting on the bed, and Dolce, like, comes up to her for attention, and Mavis does nothing.
Yeah, I these are all little elements, little teasers, if you will, of who she is. Yeah. The director and the screenwriter are showing us who she is, or maybe I should rephrase and say who she isn't. She's not a loving person.
No. She's lonely. She's empty. She's
complex.
She's very complex, which is why I've rewatched it so many times. It's just so interesting because there's not many characters like this.
Absolutely.
Especially in today's world. And even in 2011, there was no films like this.
And remember, where was the world back in 2011? Where were we as a community and a population? I mean, when you turn back the clock and you look back, you know, that's a solid 15 years.
Yeah, 15th anniversary, partly why I'm doing this episode this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, society wasn't what it is now with our president, with our government, even with technology.
That's something I do want to discuss, because can you imagine if social media was what it was today during this film?
And who would Mavis be? If Mavis was an influencer, if she was, writing these diatribes for social media, she'd get a lot of feedback.
She'd get canceled. She'd go viral. People would be filming her on the lawn. This was pre-iPhone, I think. This is 2011.
Yes.
She's using a BlackBerry.
I know. I laughed when I saw that
Really?
scene. I was like, yeah.
But also just her typing in the restaurant, like that's something we all have done. Like if we're bored, I feel like people will just start typing on their phone, like just to look busy and all that. But that becomes so much more popular in a few more years.
Sure.
And
or even gaming. She'd be a gamer. She could shut herself in a room and just play games all day long.
She gets her exercise through Wii Sports.
Yeah, I know.
She doesn't go outside to walk her dog. She leaves the poor Dolce on the balcony.
Dolce. Oh, what a sweet little dog. Would she be
dog.
accused of rage baiting if she were writing about her life?
Context, we did discuss a little bit about rage baiting before we recorded this episode. She was rage baiting Beth, wasn't she?
In person.
Yeah.
Right?
She was rage baiting Beth on that lawn in that iconic scene.
Trying to provoke a response and just really unloading. She was venting. She was letting everybody have it.
Yep.
And of course, being drunk or alcohol fueled, I mean, it just, there's no filter at this point.
No. And she said, I've been drunk since I've been back, mother.
Everybody got to see her for what she truly is and was. She was kind of revealing herself, her true feelings about everything and everyone. And they got to see the side of Mavis, the ugly side, if you will. I mean, human emotions, at least the bad ones, can be very ugly.
Yeah. How she feels inside is reflected through that moment. And also just her dress being stained like that. The mess of it all is visible to everyone, and that seems to be like a big fear
Metaphor.
of hers.
It's a metaphor.
Oh, yeah.
The red wine, is she bleeding? She, in a way, she is.
Yes.
Metaphorically. She's bleeding. And she's trying her best, but, I mean, her best isn't good enough. I mean,
in her twisted way, trying her best.
Trying to seduce her ex-boyfriend. I loved the performance of his wife.
Oh, Elizabeth Reeser.
She's amazing. And when Charlize is going through this, it really is a monologue, and a very well-acted monologue where it's really just her. It's all about her in that moment. And all the wife does is just stand there and look.
She has experience. She teaches special needs kids, and so she probably knows what not to do.
Her face, you can see the agony in her face that all of this was going on, and like, she can't believe this person. She can't believe what Mavis is saying with such, just horrible, acerbic words. But she's bearing her soul. Mavis she is so hurt that now she's hurting others.
Yeah.
She's lashing out with vitriol.
I think it's been described as watching a car wreck in slow motion.
Sure. You can't not look away. You want to, you know you should, but you keep going back to it.
This was her first comedy, really.
Comedy? I don't know. It's dark.
It's a dark comedy, yes.
Serial comedy.
It's described, when I looked it up, it's a comedy drama, but it is a dark comedy.
A dramedy.
A dramedy, yeah. It's a tough film to label, which is, again, why it was hard to market.
I was going to say, what was the response back then? Because I know I don't think it has a very high rating on Rotten Tomatoes or anything like that, because nobody likes her. Nobody likes Mavis.
But this is part of why it's underrated. The scores don't reflect how genuinely good it is.
Sure.
And at the time, I mean, she wasn't nominated for an Oscar for this.
I know, and I think she was robbed in that regard.
Yes.
But then again, what were the other films that it was up against?
I have that written here.
Oh, good. Look at you doing your research.
Oh, yes. So
in 2011, let's go back.
Yes, let's go back.
15 years.
So Young Adult earned 0 Oscar nominations. It was a tough year. She was nominated for a Golden Globe and a Critics' Choice Award.
And didn't win either.
No, she didn't win either. I'll go for Critics' Choice and then go up to the Oscars. Then I think we'll be able to see the tough competition for this film. So nominated for Best Actress at the Critics' Choice. She lost to Viola Davis in The Help.
Oh, right. I did see that movie.
She was brilliant in The Help. Her fellow nominees were Elizabeth Olsen for Martha Marcy May Marlene. I don't know of that one. Meryl Streep, The Iron Lady.
Oh, boy. Margaret
Tilda
Thatcher,
Swinton.
yeah.
Yeah, Tilda Swinton from We Need to Talk About Kevin.
Oh.
And Michelle Williams from My Week with Marilyn.
Wow.
That's a tough competition.
But that's very varied. You put Tilda Swinton in the same category with, who was the last actress?
Michelle Williams.
Michelle Williams, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then, Golden Globes, they separate it by comedy or musical and then drama. So for Best Actress in a Comedy or Musical, she lost to Michelle Williams in My Week with Marilyn.
Uh-huh.
This is tough. So Michelle Williams is one of my favorite actresses too.
Oh.
I adore her. And I just talked about her in the Marilyn Monroe episode.
Uh-huh.
And her fellow nominees were Kristen Wiig in Bridesmaids, a beloved film by many.
And that's high comedy, though.
Very
high comedy.
Yeah.
It's apples and oranges for me.
Yeah, so that's why. Could she have gone into the drama category?
Yes.
She could have.
I think this movie, in my opinion, is much more of a drama than it is a comedy.
Yeah, I don't laugh so much as I do feel the emotion when I see the pain in Charlize's character, Mavis. And she didn't play it like a comedy. She didn't approach it as a comedy.
And you can't. You have to invest 100%. And she's a very flawed character that we don't often see in a lead role like this.
No, we don't. Other nominees were Jodie Foster for Carnage.
Oh, boy.
And my other tied for favorite actress, Kate Winslet for Carnage.
Oh.
So that is
I love Kate Winslet,
race.
too.
You do?
I do.
She's amazing. One of the greatest ever, in my opinion. And then Best Actress, the winner of Best Actress that year was Meryl Streep for The Iron Lady.
Oh, there's a shocker. Meryl has a whole cabinet full of awards.
That was her third Oscar. Glenn Close was nominated for Albert Nobbs. I remember that, but I haven't seen it. I think she played a man, if I remember correctly.
I think so, yeah.
Viola Davis was nominated for The Help. Rooney Mara, the girl with the dragon tattoo.
Right.
That's a great performance.
Read the book and saw the movie, sure. Mm-hmm.
And then Michelle Williams for My Week with Marilyn. So that was a tough year.
Yeah, and the motion pictures are all over the map on that one.
Yes.
Huh.
Very competitive year. I do wish she got a nomination. At the time, there was buzz that she could get nominated.
Sure.
It was lauded as a great film by critics and the audience. People were enjoying it. So it had that momentum that it was building to
and
be.
And then
nothing. It just
fell flat.
There was too many.
What about supporting actor?
Supporting actor.
For The Friend.
Oh, Patton Oswalt only got a Critics' Choice nomination. At the Critics' Choice Awards, he lost to Christopher Plummer in Beginners. His fellow nominees were Kenneth Branagh for My Week with Marilyn, Albert Brooks for Drive, Nick Nolte for Warrior, and Andy Serkis for Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Wow.
Varied.
Wow.
Again.
Gollum.
Yeah, Gollum, truly, yeah. That is...
Do you feel that, at least partially, for her career, that maybe Charlize wasn't taken seriously by Hollywood, by the casting directors?
Well,
another gorgeous girl, right?
Yes, there's a history of this. Another favorite actress of mine, really like the Trinity, Kate Winslet, Charlize, and Angelina Jolie. Angelina Jolie is a tremendous actress.
Yes, she is.
Does not get enough credit for her acting abilities because of how beautiful she is.
And it's distracting. And then, it's always amazing to me. They play these terrible characters and they try to make themselves down or make under, where they're not as beautiful, and they're still beautiful.
Yeah, but some people, I feel like, it's said that, actresses are vain, actors are vain and all this, but Charlize doesn't seem to be bothered by that. She gains weight for a role. She doesn't seem to care so much about her beauty.
She wants to get away from the stigma. I'm more than just a pretty face.
Yeah, and she was asked a question at a press conference, and she had a tough time answering it because it seemed to make her uncomfortable, like about how her beauty was like one of her biggest assets and all this, and she was kind of stumped on what to say.
How do you respond to that?
Yeah.
Do you say yes? Obviously it handicapped her initially as she's trying to break out, but as she goes along in her career, on her path forward, and she takes more challenging roles, I think actresses, obviously women, have to work harder to prove themselves.
Yeah.
Look at Demi Moore. Let's take it up to the present.
Yeah.
And the brilliant movie, The Substance. She did full frontal nudity in that movie.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. You haven't seen The Substance?
I'm a horror film scaredy cat.
Oh, it's not. again, I wouldn't classify it as Evil Dead Burn.
The plot of the film was fascinating. And
it is.
When I read about it before the trailer, all this stuff was coming out, I was like, oh, this sounds so interesting. I want to see it. And then I found out it was a body horror film. I was like, oh, man.
Well, there's, dysmorphia and all that. And it's about vanity and what Hollywood sees as beautiful. It takes courage to stand full frontal. You're in front of a crew and a director, and you are definitely, literally bearing it all.
Yeah. Well, we kind of see that in Young Adult, because she's standing opposite Patton Oswalt, and he is like trying to hide himself. And he said it was one of the most uncomfortable things.
Sure. So he channeled that. I mean, his being uncomfortable in reality and put it into the character, because he's playing a character who had been assaulted and physically changed because of what he endured. And demeaning himself. He was putting himself down. He didn't want to be seen. And I almost felt like Mavis, this is going to sound terrible, took pity on him. I mean, and
he took pity on her too.
Good point. Yes. Emotionally, he did. And she was letting him feel like a man, allowing him, even though she was the seducer, he was the seducee. And I thought to myself at the time, is she doing this out of pity? Or is she trying to make it up to him, how he's been there for her, really, through the whole movie?
Yeah.
Is this her way of giving back in a rudimentary sense by having sex with him? I don't know. I mean, it's up to the individual how they interpret that.
Oh, yeah. It's a tough film because it is so complex, and the emotions it's all subtle. Like, again, with the scene with her parents, there's so much subtlety to it that's hinted, but they don't quite dive into it.
Right.
And I do like that, because there's a lot of times today where it's all tell, less show.
Blatant.
Yeah.
Thrown out there for everything.
And the show don't tell rule is kind of what should prevail. And this film really showed, just even with the expressions, trying to like describe her emotions at certain points. It's tricky.
Oh, it is. And I'm sure she would say it was hard to get into the mindset of this woman who's damaged. She is absolutely damaged goods. And how far do you go to convey that? So the screenplay helped a lot in what she did. And you mentioned ignoring her dog and just not being a nice person, not playing by conventional rules.
That's right. Yeah. She plays by her own rules.
Exactly.
Her own world.
She wrote the playbook.
Yes.
It's the Mavis way of looking at the world.
It's Mavis's world, and we're just living in it.
That's right. But it's, as you call it, it is an underrated gem.
Oh, it
I think
is.
Everyone should see this movie, if not just for her performance alone.
Oh, absolutely. I've tried. I tell people, no, it's not like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It's not All the President's Men. It's not to that level, but watch it for her performance. It is truly a great film.
In many ways, it's brilliant.
Yes, and it doesn't get the attention it so deserves.
I mean, the screenplay is also incredible.
Yes.
And the directing is incredible. It is an underrated gem, and it's 15 years ago. As I said, I would love to see a sequel. As she starts to find herself, as she starts to improve as a person. Maybe they thought it wouldn't be that interesting now that she's trying to fix her life a little bit, or fix herself up a little bit.
Maybe she doesn't. She doesn't change.
Well, that would be interesting too to watch.
Oh yeah. Well, I know Charlize loves this character. She was recently promoting one of her latest films, Apex, and she said that she always applauds this film and this character. She loves this character even 15 years later. So
because it's special. And something like this doesn't come along every.
And that's part of why she wanted to do it, because she saw the originality in the film and she was like, this is a great opportunity. And she really hadn't done comedy, so she was so grateful for Jason Reitman to see something in her to allow her to be in this film. And I think it did open doors. She's done every genre and she like masters it every time.
Yeah. I mean, truly the mark of a versatile actress.
Yes. She should get more appreciation for that as well. I do want to read the IMDb plot summary for the...
Okay, all right. For those of you that don't know.
Soon after her divorce, a fiction writer returns to her home in small-town Minnesota, looking to rekindle a romance with her ex-boyfriend, who is now happily married and has a newborn daughter. The film also stars Patton Oswalt, Patrick Wilson, and Elizabeth Reeser. Okay, so some films are analyzed as a whole from all aspects, while the analysis for others lies more in the characters. And young adult, as we've been discussing, is very much the latter.
Mm-hmm.
During a press conference for the film, Charlize said she thinks more than anything people want to be understood. Do you feel like you understand Mavis?
I think I do. I think I can relate to her on some levels. I mean, I think we all can. She is damaged. She is emotionally hurting. It's what she does as lashing out to the world that I think a lot of us do not do. Mm-hmm. And perhaps what we do is submerge or subvert our true feelings. You know, it's like in social situations, how you may not really like someone, but you're forced to work with them, or you do a film with them, and you're, you just have to put on the brave face. Maybe she's braver by acting out. She's doing what society tells us not to do.
That's true. That's a good way of looking at it. Yeah. The broad strokes, as she's described, we probably can't relate to. Going to try and get a boyfriend back.
Well, a married boyfriend, sure.
Married with a newborn baby. But the little details about her, we can all find something.
Absolutely.
Whether we want to admit to it or not.
The hurt child.
Yeah.
The hurt child the inner child.
The hurt child's, her as an adult, her unhealthy habits.
Oh, yeah. The drinking, constant drinking.
The drinking, the reality television, the fast food, and the Diet Coke obsession, which I'm amazed, going back, how many times you can find Diet Coke.
Product placement.
I would think
KFC, too.
KFC, Taco Hut.
Oh, yeah. I mean, these days, people pay a lot of money for that to be in films. Mm-hmm. I want to talk to you about her newest, The Odyssey. Mm-hmm. I've read some things about it. Who does she play in The Odyssey?
She, I believe, plays Calypso.
Oh, the water nymph.
I think so. She kind of traps Matt Damon's character, Odysseus, for 7 years on an island.
So she's playing a goddess.
Oh,
yes.
I think she's playing a goddess.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, so Christopher Nolan's my favorite director of all time.
So you can't wait to see this.
Tomorrow night, I'm going.
Oh, really? Matt Damon as Odysseus. He has said that this was the most difficult film he's ever done.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering how they're portraying everything in the film. I mean, obviously there's been other versions of the Iliad and the Odyssey produced, and I think some of them include animatronic skeletons or harpies. Or
Nolan is he doesn't do like special effects. He does everything in camera as best he can.
Interesting.
And no real CGI really. So
a lot of extras.
A ton of extras, thousands of extras at some points.
He seems to like spectacle.
Oh yeah.
The grand presentation of it all.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously take on challenging projects from that regard.
Challenging projects, and this seems to be his most challenging project to date. Big time. With a big cast, a giant, enormous scope.
Especially without CGI, you say?
He avoids it.
And AI?
He does not like
No,
AI.
I know that he would rather do something realistically.
Yeah. I personally am avoiding as much as I can about the film because I know I'm going to love it, and I don't want it spoiled for me.
Right.
When it was announced that he was working with Charlize, I just was like, this is a dream casting.
Well, you know what's interesting, as we're going full circle with this podcast today, is that Odysseus is also a very flawed character and a driven man, almost to the point of anxiety and paranoia and all of that stuff, trying to prove himself. I want to see how Nolan handles this vast manuscript and screenplay of conveying this hero who's gone for years. He's gone for so long that his wife, Penelope, remarries. I mean, in modern society, he would be declared dead. When you're gone for a really, really long time and nobody can contact you, of course, this is way before cell phones, and GPS. They're on their journey, they're on their odyssey, and he's gone for so long that his wife kind of, what else is she to do? She kind of writes him off and gets remarried. And when he finally makes it home, there's his wife with another man.
Robert Pattinson.
Well, hey, I mean, who could blame her? But I mean,
I can't.
But imagine what the character must go. He's traumatized. He's just absolutely shattered that she gave up waiting for him. But then again, he was off on his own, doing his own thing. And who neglected whom here?
Right.
He's not being an attentive husband and responsible, lord of the manor or what have you. And she remarries.
Oh man. Now that you say that, I'm very interested how that's going to play out, because Robert Pattinson is a brilliant actor, and just from what we've been hearing, these little inklings about his performance, oh man.
Do you feel like he's been written off by Hollywood at many a time because of his involvement with the Twilight Saga?
He used to, I think, but he's continuously proving himself that he is a brilliant actor, and I'm so thrilled for him for that, because I was a Twilight fan. I've been a Team Edward since day one. So I've always liked him, and I've always stayed, paying attention to his career. And there was a while where he was more underground at indies. Tenet was really his big blockbuster return with Nolan, of course. And then ever since, he's been on this unbelievable run.
Good for him.
Yeah, great for him.
It's interesting to me that in the Odyssey, Charlize, bringing it back to her, is playing this enchantress.
Yes.
There's a lot of magic in the Odyssey.
Yeah. I'm so excited for what.
I hope I didn't ruin it for you, but
no, it's okay. There's going to be. It's a nearly 3-hour film. Who knows what Nolan's going to do with it?
What if Nolan had broken this into 2 parts like Wicked, and then each movie is like 2+ hours long? What do you?
I don't know, but breaking it up in 2 parts, I feel like he somewhat does that with the non-linearity consistently through his work. He will probably bring some non-linearity and bring in 2 different stories somehow.
Sure.
But
do you think today's audiences want to sit through a 3-hour movie? Well, if it's compelling enough, right? If it's exciting, if it's,
That's
but
the thing. People have a short attention span, yet for him and Denis Villeneuve, who's coming out with a film this year, those 2 bring in audiences,
Sure.
So
I mean, I think people are curious, and they know with a lead like Matt Damon, but I think almost everyone has had to read the Iliad and the Odyssey in English class, and you're like, ooh, there's plenty of excitement. Obviously, there's battles, the Trojan horse, ship at sea for years. Yeah. There's all of the gods and goddesses, the Greek myths, all of it comes into play. Anne Hathaway plays Penelope, does she not?
She does.
His suffering wife, pining away for her man.
I'm excited. I'm going to see it in the IMAX.
Okay.
I have to see it in the biggest way possible.
I can't wait to hear your review and what your thoughts are. But I mean, you're going in already loving Nolan.
I've been a loyal Nolan fan since I was about 10 years old. He's always been my favorite director. No one is coming close to that spot.
And
for me.
I have heard, again, this is only, hearsay, but that Charlize really doesn't have that big a role, not comparatively, to like Anne Hathaway.
No, she doesn't. She
has that little moment.
Yes. I hope she has some great scenes. I'm sure she will. But, I'm just happy she's in it. And
sure.
Now that they've worked together here, he has a tendency to bring people back. So maybe she'll be back in a bigger role in a future film of his.
Okay, sure.
So that's what I'm hoping.
That sequel to Young Adult.
Oh my gosh.
Middle-aged adult.
Nolanized young adult. I can't even imagine what that would be.
Older adult. I don't know. It would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Younger
that
adult.
Would be a challenge. Younger. No. Let's not have her regress. I think there's that redeeming moment at the end where at least you hope that she's learned a few lessons and is redirecting herself somewhat. At least she gives up on Patrick Wilson.
Yeah,
thank goodness.
She seems to have closure with Mercury, Minnesota. But
and I have a question for you about that. Mercury, Minnesota. Why do you think they called the town that?
I don't know. I looked it up. It's not a real town.
No, of course not. But Mercury.
It's another planet.
As an element, the mercurial, it changes. It morphs.
Interesting.
Mercury. Well, think of a thermometer. Or mercury. You can't hold on to it. It's little balls. It slips away. The very idea of being mercurial means changeable. And yeah,
she doesn't change.
Well, yes, I think she does. I do think she changed.
So by the end of the film, you do think that she changed?
I think she has changed. I think her sleeping with her friend is a changing point for both of them in a way.
But the scene with Sandra at the end where she says, "It's so hard for me to be happy." Mm-hmm. That line breaks me every time.
But it's that realization. Mm-hmm. I think she has a better handle on who she is now after having gone through the rage, the toxicity, the alcoholism. I mean, you need treatment for that. You know, she's not going to be better until she addresses that. She's going to keep drinking.
Yeah, but, well, I mean, this is more in the beginning, but she kind of scoffs at the idea of getting therapy. When Matt suggests
she needs therapy, the character.
Yeah, she needs therapy, but I wonder what happens if she goes back to Minneapolis, if she is at all changed. The last line is, "Life, here I come," but she looks grumpy and she's like...
Well, I mean, life isn't all great all the time. I mean, to me, in my opinion, she's coming to terms with who she is and who she doesn't want to be anymore. I want that happy ending for her, or at least like a semi-happy ending where she's evolved somewhat from having gone through this experience. And it happens in the Odyssey too. Mm-hmm. We go through things, both good and bad, and they're trying. They're tests in a way, in my opinion, again. And we see this reflected. Life imitates art, art imitates life.
Yeah.
So I mean, I want this for her. I think it's human nature on the good side to root somebody on, to root this character on and say, "Girl, I hope you know what you've cost people and your poor parents that, you know, they love you unconditionally, you know, but I hope you've learned some lessons along the way." That's what we hope for ourselves, I think.
So while you were watching this film, were you rooting for Mavis?
I wanted something to change. I obviously her, but, you know, like I said, we go through experiences and we hope at the end of the day we've learned something about what not to do in life. I mean, she's going to have to get well. This is a traumatized person, and she needs to channel that anger. She was writing books for kids. Yeah. That's almost like an inside joke, is that she's a ghostwriter. And you know what's funny is people kept calling her a writer, and she keeps correcting them and saying an author.
Yes, more prestigious.
I'm an author. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I think she wants to do better on some level. Yeah, she's an awful person, but...
She wants to live up to what she is telling people that
she is.
Yeah.
That image.
And that's something a lot of people can relate to. They kind of embellish or exaggerate. That's part of why it's interesting. If this film was made a few years later with social media, her Instagram would be filled with her lavish lifestyle that's really not accurate at all.
Everything would change. Yeah. We couldn't tell that story today.
No.
It would all be changed.
She would be canceled. Her career would be over. I mean, the book series
she'd probably get death threats.
Maybe she wouldn't be able to show her face in Mercury, which I don't know if she can anyway.
Right.
Regardless.
True. But
the social media aspect, because you're right, it does come at a good point. And speaking of the originality of the film, it does have a new Hollywood. It's new Hollywood-ish because of that originality, and there's no real happy ending. There's no redemption arc. No. There's no big life lesson learned, and it's refreshing to see it at this time. But I couldn't see this film made in the 70s, even though it is.
And that might be interesting if it were.
It would be interesting.
But...
Do you know who I think would be great as Mavis if it was
younger
made in the 70s?
A prequel.
Well,
oh my gosh.
She would not. The actress I'm thinking of wouldn't be able to work because she's now in her 80s.
Uh-oh.
But imagine if this was made in the 70s, a new Hollywood film.
Okay.
Faye Dunaway would be fantastic.
Ooh, wow.
Right?
Maybe we bring Faye Dunaway in as her grandmother.
Oh, man.
Mavis. And Mavis goes to see her.
They did work together. They know each other. They worked together in The Yards.
Yeah.
2000. But that is an interesting...
We're really extrapolating on this theme, aren't we?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Oh, yeah. But this film, there's just so much in it to discuss. Do you think boredom and Mavis's need for creative inspiration is really what propelled her to go back to Mercury?
Partly. I think that she wants to get Buddy back. I think she's, you mentioned how much is illusion delusion? She's deluded, but she actually thinks she has a chance with him. So this is like an unfinished chapter in her personal book.
Yeah.
And she's an author, but she's a ghostwriter. The part where she wants to sign books. Do you want me to sign that book? Well, I don't see your name. Oh, here. It's here on the third page, way down at the bottom.
It's on the inside cover. You have to look into it and look at the smaller print. I
think she wants some level of acceptance and praise. I don't know. She's just an amazing character.
Yeah.
A lot of flawed characters in plays, in movies. What is it? You brought up a good point. Do we see ourselves in them?
Yeah.
Not to that extent, but
sure.
I mean, does a part of us, one little tiny small part, relate to that person, even though they're doing these crazy things? Yeah. And what is crazy? How many levels are crazy?
Yeah, there's different stages of that, seemingly, and
definitions of it.
Yes, and there's suggestion that she is mentally ill. She's depressed.
Sure, but she doesn't see it.
No,
she's living her life. She
romanticizes life, and she writes it in her book, in the young adult novels. Mm-hmm. She embellishes what we hear the voiceovers of what she's typing, mm-hmm. and even just telling Matt, like, "Oh, let's see, which one should I point to?" There's
she
several.
Overhears conversations.
And that's her inspiration.
And then, literally, she literally quotes conversations that she overhears with real people in the movie and then puts them in the book because maybe she thinks her ideas aren't good enough.
Yeah, well, I think she somewhat needs that. She uses it for the book, and then she uses it on Buddy. Uh-huh. You're my moon, you're my stars, you're my galaxy. And then that brutal move to her face. Mm-hmm. Oh, the silence was deafening. And that's one of my talking about moments where Charlize's performance is just brilliant in those silent moments. Her reaction to that, trying to take that in and then trying to reconfigure, reassess the situation. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, we can beat this thing together. So she has a few more lines before she says that, but she's still like, of course you're going to want to be with me. Of course we're going to be together.
She can't quite get it into her head.
No.
She doesn't tolerate rejection.
No, she
can't even understand it.
No, she tends to get what she wants, really. Mm-hmm. And she seems to feel shame when she is rejected. And those moments, and the one that I'm going to now is the scene at the rock show, at Beth's show. And her song with Buddy is played. Yeah. Something has been taken from her. Mm-hmm. You really feel for her in that moment. That's understandable. You feel like this is something that's shared between you and someone else. And then it's not anymore. Clue
your audience in. If they haven't seen the movie, what happens?
Oh, you have to have seen this film before you listen to this episode.
I'm betting there are people that haven't, just like me.
Oh, you all have to.
The man that she's going after, played by Patrick Wilson, her ex-flame, is now married to a lovely wife who happens to have this rock band, and they're not very good. It's a hobby, and they enjoy it. They have fun. And she is the drummer of this all-female rock band. Mm-hmm. And in the scene that we're talking about, her song, Charlize Theron's song with Patrick Wilson, they're singing it. And we get introduced to the song because she still has it on a cassette
tape. And her car still takes cassettes. I don't know if that was more common in 2011, but not anymore. It was?
Yeah, sure.
Really?
I mean, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But we listened to that song with her over and over and over. Mm-hmm. So we know that song, so that when the wife's rock band, if you will, starts playing it, and they're not very good. I mean, and it's just funny to see her reaction that this is a part of her past that's now been injected into the present. Mm-hmm. And it's very, very hurtful. She's wounded. She's like, how could this happen? How could you do this? She takes it as a personal attack.
Oh, absolutely. She takes it as a personal attack. She feels robbed. She's shocked. This was something.
How dare you?
Yeah. And towards the end of that scene, we see it as like a zoom in of her, and she's like ready to get vengeance. She's so revengeful. But in between that, between her reaction and then the closing of the scene, we see Matt looking at her, feeling sympathy for her. Mm-hmm. I don't think we don't see him at any point aware of what that song means to her and Buddy. Maybe it was played in the car. We don't quite know.
Mm-hmm. But Patrick Wilson had made her that mixtape and I guess wrote the song for her. And
it's a song that you can find on Spotify.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a real song from the 90s.
I did not know that. Who sang it originally?
Oh, man. It's in my notes.
Uh-oh. Pages turning. Look at your notes. Oh, my gosh.
Yes, it's too much.
So who sang it originally? Like Four Non-Blondes or?
It's called The Concept by Teenage Fan Club.
Oh.
And it came out in 1991.
Wow, okay. Mm-hmm. I didn't know it was a real song. I thought he had made it for her.
Well, this song was actually Diablo Cody, the screenwriter for the film. She was a DJ in the 90s.
Okay, as was I.
Yes. And she
must have played it, yeah.
Yeah, she played it a lot. And because it was a 6-minute long song, she said that it allowed for her to get
bathroom break.
Immediately, yeah.
I know.
And so,
well, there's such a thing as DJ kidneys, where you literally wait for, yes. You wait for that long song and you just hold it till you, that was the old days when radio was live. Every single element was started live. And you couldn't, do anything during a commercial break because all of the spots were 1 minute or 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Every element was hit. You had a live board in the old days before everything was tracked.
Well, I wonder now, songs are shorter these days, so maybe there's a rise in DJ.
Movies are shorter. The
Yes.
average movie is 90 minutes now.
People are like, oh, I love a 90-minute film, or 90 minutes is too long. What do you mean? That's
On
the
Netflix,
shortest.
they're all 90 minutes, yeah. But back to what we were talking about with the Odyssey, which is, we know, almost a 3-hour movie. Mm-hmm. Are people willing to, this is a gamble that they take. It has to hold your attention for that long.
They won't let many filmmakers do that.
You're going to get chair butt, from sitting for three hours.
Yeah, and well, with Nolan, I think a lot of people will go and watch it again just because it's him.
Well, it's going to be analyzed to death. It is.
By me alone.
By you alone.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for a future podcast when Elizabeth will deconstruct the Odyssey.
I probably will. So you did mention makeup, and this is such a minor thing, but it absolutely struck me and continues to every single time I watch the film. As Mavis gets ready, how does her foundation blend after she applies it the way she does with her hands? There's no brush used. She just smears it all over her face. Did that stand out to you too? Because it's such a little thing, a little detail, but every time I'm like, how?
Well, yes, there's the unrealistic portrayal in the film, but she's touching herself. Whereas most of us, especially these days, we're using the makeup brushes and we're blending and we're toning and we're doing all of that and we're contouring. And to me, that was actually very intimate, that she's putting makeup on and she's smearing it all over her face. And of course, she's Charlize Theron. It's going to look great. There's reality and then there's movie reality.
Mm-hmm. Is Mavis trying to reclaim the life she nearly had with Buddy and a few children?
I mean, wow, that's a toughie, because I think she wants a life with Buddy. I don't know about reclaiming what they had. She's living in that world where she's delusional, where that, high school romance. I mean, ask anyone if they want to go back to their high school years and be with their first boyfriend or girlfriend.
Unless you've peaked like Charlize's character Mavis.
And see how you feel about that. I mean, you're so much, when you're young, the world is your oyster. You're dreaming of such marvelous things and a future that's rosy and life is going to be wonderful. You have to have that optimism. And as you get older, you get exposed to more and more things and you realize that's kind of an illusion, a reality. I think the trick is trying to be happy in spite of everything that happens, the disappointments. As you get older, I'm at a point where I'm starting to lose, obviously my parents are no longer with us, but now I'm starting to lose friends. And life is tough. Life is, it is what it is, and you just have to get through it any way you can. So in answering your question and relating to that, I would say that I would hope Mavis knows that she'll never have her high school years back. She wants a new reality with Buddy. And what are you going to do with somebody else's baby? I mean, you're going to raise it as your own, I guess. I hope.
She seemed fine with that aspect.
That idea?
Because she said, well, I have baggage too. It's all right if he has a baby. And then one of the last scenes with Mavis and Matt, she says that she was invited to the baby naming ceremony.
Yeah.
But then she says, he wants me to participate in the naming ceremony.
Which wasn't true.
An exaggeration again.
Yeah. She's making stuff up at this point. Sure.
She continuously does that. It's poured into her writing, and when she pours it into her writing, she's romanticizing her life, and that's what she believes, and she translates it back to her life.
So illusion has become delusion. She's deluding herself. It's never going to happen in a million trillion years.
Yeah, and I think the fact that she does watch these reality TV shows, and, you know, it's almost like she's the reality show coming to town. She's bringing the camera, she's bringing the drama, and this is an ordinary town. Nothing really happens, and she, based on what she watches, there's little like foreshadowing of what's to come, but also indicative to how she feels. I mean, there was one after she meets Buddy, she reunites with him at the new bar.
The pub.
Yeah. Champion O'Malley's. She is watching a singer perform We've Only Just Begun, One Kiss and We're On Our Way. So she somewhat believes that later, because they do have a moment where she takes advantage of him.
She does kiss him, and he allows it.
He does pull in. I did notice.
Yes, he does.
He does.
He allows it.
But it's kind of amazing. Like, first of all, how that scene is shot is really quite brilliant, because it's so dark. They're outlined, they're lit from the back, it seems. And it's just a perfect shot for obscurity. And obscurity in like the moment, and
because maybe she's his fantasy, or he in his mind he's going back to what they had, and maybe in his mind he's a free man and he can do this. But then reality hits, and it's like, oh, whoa, what are we doing here? And he pushes her away.
Well, yeah, he was caught, it seems.
Well, yes, that too. That could be bad.
He was caught, and I love the looks that she gives to the babysitter like 3 times. She makes sure he knows that she's pissed off.
But don't you think, let's say hypothetically, if he does say, you know what, I really do love you, and to hell with my wife, don't you feel like she would give his baby, not her baby, but his baby, all the due consideration that she gives to Dolce? She would let that kid cry, and, you know, she'd get slammed with child abuse and neglect.
There's a film I must tell you about later.
Uh-oh.
Involving Charlize and the same writer-director. Oh, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
But yeah, she's solely focused on Buddy. But towards the end, where there is a hint of change, I think, is that she does come home and embrace Dolce. And
yes.
There's a moment where we hear a voiceover and we see her in the hotel room just kind of watching the dog. The dog's having fun around her on the chair. And
she's becoming more human, more of a better human.
Yeah, that's like a slight indication that there's hope.
There's a light at the end of the tunnel.
There is hope. There's light at the end of the tunnel. But to my question about reclaiming the life, it's very complex because it doesn't seem like she wants this life. She romanticizes.
She doesn't want the reality of it.
No, she's disturbed by the slightest sound the baby makes. And that's one of the funniest things about the film to me, is when they're on the lawn, she meets Beth again. There's so much that's left unknown to us. They've met before. They went to high school together. How long have they been together? Was she upset that they got married? Like all these different
undoubtedly,
things.
I'm sure.
And, you know, she was divorced. Was she thinking about Buddy while she was married? Which, because she made a character about him in her book, it seems like maybe, yeah, she's been thinking about him.
Did the divorce happen because of her alcoholism?
Did Alan ground her in a similar way to Matt, where she is now kind of off the wall? She's like, there's no one bringing her back down to reality. There's so many questions. I have it listed in my notes somewhere, but there's so many questions that it would be nice to have answered. But then again, show rather than tell. I appreciate that rule.
And that's the part of the movie that's up to your individual interpretation. That's what makes movies entertaining and challenging at the same time.
Yes, yeah. But there's no way she would want to live in Mercury.
No,
so,
we know that.
Yeah.
It's too dull a town for her.
She has such a disdain for this town.
Sure.
Even if Buddy insisted on staying there, she's not going to stay. She, I guess, had this plan that they're going to leave, but even he's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So even that raises the question, was there ever a discussion that they had about going off together?
Even if he leaves Beth, and let's say Beth takes the baby, could reality ever live up to her expectations? And they're together now. You just brought up a really good point. You know, I don't think, because the fantasy is the fantasy.
Yeah.
Real life never lives up to it's the wanting and the desire, not the having.
It's all like these nice ideas, but if they come to reality, it's like a whole different story for us.
That would probably be the best cure of all. If, the way she saw things were to work out, and then she realizes, you know what? Guess what? I don't want this either.
That is the cure. Yeah, it really is. That's the only way.
But you hope that she has enlightenment by the end, that she's been able to see, you know what? I don't want this life. The crying baby and the needy husband, or, it has to change for her. It has to, her perspective has to change. And then her reality can change. Or she can change it herself.
And when first of all, when she reunited with Buddy, the way she looks to him as this like love at first sight, and he's just
she idolizes him. Well, she idolizes what they were.
Mm-hmm. And she's described as recently divorced. We know that from the description of the plot. Mm-hmm. We don't quite know that. I mean, yes,
what happened? What's the backstory?
We don't know what happened with the divorce. So I wonder where all my questions were for that. But I had listed like all these questions that the scene of them reuniting itself just brought up. He goes there thinking that she's married, and
happily so.
Yeah,
content.
He's under that impression.
He wants to meet her. They want to catch up. He wants to catch up.
Yeah, and I don't think that's, well, of course that's not in his mind at all, but he's so secure in his marriage, and so is Beth. For her to be comfortable with having her around, I mean, there are several moments where her fault is her kindness, and it seems like everyone around her is telling her, warning her about Mavis. There's a moment where her friend Mary Ellen says, "It's so interesting to see you back here, Mavis." And then before the shot returns to Mavis, you see Beth quickly turn around to her friend, as if to say, do not say anything.
Yeah.
And so it's impressive that she is able to have her around, and she's that kind to be like, you know what? We know she's dealing with these problems, but it's also a sympathy, and that's so sad.
It is. Yeah.
A sympathy.
They pity her.
Yeah.
For her instability.
But I wonder, does she and the whole town kind of know her plan of getting Buddy back?
I don't think so, but I think they know of her nature. She's not looked upon kindly or remembered kindly.
No, and the word gets out, I think through her cousin to her parents, that she has a real estate venture. Which is
totally made up.
Totally made up. Another fantasy, like, oh, I have all this money, but she would never invest in a house in Mercury.
No.
There's some hints that Buddy either becomes more of his high school self when he's with her, or that he hasn't really changed so much. Saying like, oh, it's such a shame that Matt was assaulted the way he was, all because he was gay. How would he not have known that 20-something years later when it was national news, as Matt says, and Mavis is the one to say he's not gay. And then they have the moment at the bar later where they're exchanged some dark humor.
And he wasn't going to drink at all, but he was like, no. And then she gets talked into drinking.
Yeah. And then we see Beth drink at the house. So maybe they just agreed to return to drinking together, because maybe he admitted to having a drink, so now she can have a drink again. Or
I think he wants to have fun again, and he's starting to see his life as very structured, and with a ton of responsibilities, with a wife and a child. So a part of him, I think, is yearning to go back to his boyhood days of no responsibility, let's be free, let's have fun, but can you ever really go back? Can you ever go back? Well, first of all, the older you get, the less you can drink. So it's not like you can party like a frat boy anymore at a certain point.
My tolerance has gone down since you knew me.
Yeah,
that's what I hear as you get older, and there comes a point where you can't even drink or something because
you just feel like crap the next day.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Interesting point about the friend named Matt. Doormat, walked all over.
He can't stand up to her. He goes through the woods.
I know.
This is such like a small thing, but as someone who has a nerve and back pain condition, I can relate to this. It's like people, they have no idea. There's no consideration. She doesn't think about other people.
No, there's no empathy there at all.
Zero empathy, but during that talk, it does seem like as he's saying the brutal realities of what happened to him, there are these moments of empathy, and then she kind of switches back and she kind of says all the things that she needs to be told herself, and she flips it onto him as like a defense.
She is a selfish person.
Yeah.
Alcoholism is, to some extent, a selfish disease. It is a disease. It is a condition too. But you're once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. I had heard there's a phrase, I don't know who came up with this, but it always has made me think, why do men drink? They are unhappy with their world, their job, their life, their surroundings. Why do women drink? They're unhappy with themselves. Isn't that kind of telling in a way? So to a certain extent, I think she does have an inkling of who she is, and she's not very happy with that. Granted, it's a very small part of her that realizes this, that she's not a liked person, that she acts in abhorrent ways. What does they say? You have to get friends, you have to be a friend. And I don't think that's in her Rolodex.
No, she doesn't know how to be a friend.
She puts herself first.
She puts herself first, and when she goes to see Matt just before they go out to the woods, and they go all this way, and he's in the background, she's in the foreground, he's having trouble catching up, but she's not paying any attention. Right. She gets to Matt's house, and she's like, I just saw my parents. And he says, ooh, heavy. You want to get hammered? And she says, why do you think I'm here? He has the alcohol. He's the drinking buddy, which...
He's the enabler.
He enables, but he's a pushover to her. He's not going to tell her. And he stands up to her in certain moments where he truly has had enough. And there's a little bit of a hint, the way she treats him in that scene before they go. Like, can you walk any slower?
Yeah, she's demeaning.
Yeah.
She's there's no compassion there whatsoever.
Yet you can't help but have empathy for her.
Because you hurt for her. You realize she only hurt people, hurt others. And that's what she does.
But something that I think is so largely under-discussed in this film, it's hinted at, of course, and we have talked around it, is pretty privilege. I think this film is a great example of pretty privilege.
Absolutely.
Because he's a pushover to her. No one's going to tell her parents, their boundaries, like all these things that no one's really going to challenge her, really. I mean, the only one really is Matt, but he's...
I think a part of him loves her too. A part of him, because... The clue is, when she decides to sleep with him, there was a moment where I wondered if he wouldn't push her away and say, I don't want your pity, and I don't want to do this.
That's a great point.
You have no feelings for me. Why? But then, what man is going to turn down Charlize Theron, right? Yeah. She's willing and able, and he's like, oh, to heck with it. I'm in. Let's go.
Can you imagine if she was turned down in that moment?
See, that could be a different scenario. How would the movie end if he stood up to her in that way and like, you only want to sleep with me because you pity me, or you're in a moment of weakness or whatever. Or maybe she did feel sorry for him. I don't know, but it would be interesting if he turned her down.
Yes.
If he rebuffed and said, you know what, I don't want this because it's not coming from the right place.
But he can't.
But he can't. No. I mean, like I said, who could? No guy's going to say no to Charlize Theron.
Except if you're Patrick Wilson in a happy marriage.
Well, but he figured, what does he value more? A one night stand with her, or a fling on the side, or his family? He chooses his family.
Yeah.
So he's the moral conscience in a way, because he could have goes, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Again, he says no to her. Matt says yes.
And all the other guys say yes too.
Yes. That is true.
We do have to talk about her iconic lawn scene, because
my favorite.
That's
an Oscar-winning moment.
Just hand her the Oscar right then and there.
Actresses need to watch that. It's a monologue, and it goes on forever because she tells everyone what she thinks of them, much to their great horror. And the thing is, we were talking about this because I had a real life experience in a restaurant with a woman that had a meltdown. Just and everybody, it mirrored that scene that everybody's just stunned. Like, don't move. What's going on? I don't understand this.
So you're not surprised that no one said anything to her?
Well, toward the end I was, because she's going on forever.
Yeah.
But it's the same idea. I was literally in that situation where you don't want to move. You don't know what is this person doing? And you're almost afraid to stop them because you think, all right, let them get it out. Or are you thinking, is this person mentally unstable? I don't want to engage with that and make them worse.
Yeah. Well, that's what Beth does. She seems to...
She's a fantastic actress because there's no
at.
dialogue. There's just her face of first unbelieving what's going on and then anguish. And then is it anguish for herself or is it anguish for Mavis, for what she's doing. And she's, of course, ruining her party, ruining her baby's event, special occasion.
Yes, the naming ceremony.
Yeah. I mean, that's... I mean, in a way, I was having lunch with a girlfriend, and then you think, oh my gosh, this lunch is ruined because this woman's having a meltdown right in front of me.
Mm-hmm. Do you think the crowd, or even you as an audience, did you have more empathy towards her when she said that she had a miscarriage and that she would not wish that on anyone?
Yes.
Do you think the crowd did too?
To some degree, yes, because, and she admits that during a live baby's special event, and she lost a baby.
Mm-hmm.
So in a way, we see where the hurt may be coming from. So, I mean, yes, I think there is sympathy there. Yeah. She reveals some of the hurt.
Yes.
It comes out in that sentence.
Mm-hmm.
That monologue could be used for scene study.
Oh, definitely. Would you believe that that scene only took 2 takes?
Sure, because she's that good.
She's that good. The first take, from what my research is not so much known about it, the second take, she did that whole thing, 3 handheld cameras filming at the same time.
Sure.
Everyone was blown away by that take.
They didn't have to do it again.
No, but Charlize wanted a 3rd take and she asked for one, but then the day carried on and Jason Reitman, the director, just kind of forgot about it. And then she ended up seeing, you're right, a 3rd take isn't necessary.
I read the same about Obsession, that there's several pivotal scenes in that movie where the lead actress, and there's a horrific scene that, again, only took 2 takes. So when you get it right, you get it right. And there's no need to keep doing it over and over and over and over again. Mm-mm. I love that aspect of film, is that you do get a redo. You do get a second chance. Mm-hmm. Unlike life.
No.
You get to go back and do it over.
That's true. Yeah. And Charlize is not a fan for rehearsals, doing too many takes in general because you
lose it. You lose the spontaneity. You lose, they say in acting, learn the dialogue and then forget the dialogue.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me, and I'm still working on that. But, you want your performance to be as authentic as possible. And you're right, by doing it many, many times, and it just gets defeated, the whole purpose, and you get tired as an actor.
Mm-hmm. That scene is one of her greatest scenes of her whole career, and monumental moment in the film.
It's everything. That's the pivotal moment in the movie, where we really see who she is and we learn a little bit about why she is, how she is.
It's fantastic. The shift between the anger, then the fake
remorse, regret.
Yeah, remorse. It's just the whole thing.
She hates herself. There's part of her that knows how bad she is, and she hates herself for it, but she can't stop.
And the scene towards the end, this is the other big scene, the scene when she's with Sandra at breakfast the next morning after spending the night with her brother, Matt. Mm-hmm. She says, it's so hard for me to be happy. And she says, I need to change. And Sandra's like, no, you don't. Everyone sees this lavish lifestyle you live. You're above everyone. She kind of idolized her in high school, and she still does. And she's not going to
give that up.
No, she's not going to.
That's her illusion.
Yeah. That's what makes her a very interesting character. Mm-hmm. But another tragic character. But also, when she says, "Take me with you," after saying that everyone here is fat and dumb, no one can wear a dress like you can. It doesn't matter what happens to people here. When she says, "Take me with you," and Mavis says, "Oh, but you're good here, Sandra." Mm-hmm. That is a brutal hit to the heart. She kind of triumphed in helping the popular girl, and then she was brought back down that she belongs with these people, that it doesn't matter what happens to them. That is so painful. I know the big scene is the scene on the lawn, and understandably so, but to me, this scene is up there.
It's insightful.
Yeah.
Is what it is. It is, but she's right, though. Isn't she right? She does kind of belong in her hometown. She fits. And Mavis has the insight to see that. Yeah. That I think the sister is yearning for the life she thinks Mavis has, the sophistication, the glamour. It's small town values versus big city sophistication.
Yes. Yeah.
Big lights, big city, an adventure, right? An odyssey.
An odyssey, yes, to tie it back to Charlize's next film, upcoming film. So excited for that. Thank you so much for joining me, Vesta, for a wonderful conversation that I have long been looking forward to having. It's such a joy to finally dissect this film after watching it many times over the course of about 10 years. I'm so glad you enjoyed the film and joined me for another episode.
Oh, thank you. It was a pleasure to be here, and it was a nice film to watch. I mean, having never seen it, I enjoyed it very much, and especially for Charlize's performance. My approach to her acting has now just soared. She is absolutely amazing, and I see her as having to overcome her good looks and embracing challenging roles to really prove herself. She shouldn't have to, but that's our world today. She does have to prove herself, and it's interesting to me that you've watched interviews with her, and she has said that movie was a proving point for herself as an actress and a character.
I'm so glad that she thinks so fondly of this film, and again, 15 years later, she still thinks about what an incredible character it was to play, and hopefully just her talking about it makes people
want to see it.
Yeah, it bounces around streaming services, so it shouldn't be too hard to find.
If you have dreams of becoming an actress, and a good actress at that, it should be required watching.
I agree, absolutely. Your highly anticipated 5th installment of the Witch Diaries series will soon be premiering. Congratulations on another short film that I know you put a lot of time, effort, and money into. The tagline at the bottom of the film's poster is "Evil never dies, it waits to reawaken," which is just fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
Mystery. So I'm eager to know, what is this film about, and what is Tara Ward up to this time?
Oh my gosh, wow. and thank you for wanting to talk about it. Sister of Shadows is a very different movie for me. So whereupon we have really kind of sent Tara on all kinds of adventures in the past, fighting demons and evil sorcerers and wizards and that sort of thing. But this is more personal. It's a much more personal film. The family dynamic is explored. Tara, we meet Trinity, her niece's mother, who is Tara's sister, Erin. And Erin is an alcoholic. And she also lives, Erin does, in a magical family where she has no powers. And this has been eating away at her, hence leading to more drinking. So it's almost a cycle that feeds on itself. She has no powers, she drinks more, and that, if she ever did want to have powers, the alcohol subverts any kind of magic that she would want to have.
Wow.
Or so we think. I wanted to make this a modern film because obviously Time Will Tell takes place largely in 1647.
Yes.
And any kind of period piece, any director or writer will tell you, involves historically correct costumes, historically correct props. A lot of people won't even touch something that needs to be historically accurate because it's a chore. And it really is. Yeah. Although we managed to pull it off. St. Augustine is a largely historical town with many beautiful places to film, down by the marina and the docks, and with a pirate vessel known as the Black Raven, which we put into the movie. But now I wanted to make it modern, and it's a modern tale in that in a portion of the movie, Trinity, who Tara is pretty much raising and also teaching the ways of magic to, Trinity goes to a party that she should not be at with way older guys, college guys, and she's only 16. And she gets roofied. And these terrible young men are going to film her being assaulted.
Oh, this film is darker than...
Well, it is. It is way darker.
Wow.
But see, these things happen to women today and young girls. And I felt like it needed to be in the movie for that reason. It's a modern tale. Tara even has a podcast called Speaking of Which.
Which is a brilliant podcast name.
Thank you. So she's busy doing the podcast. But meanwhile, back to Trinity. She's unconscious on a bed, about to be raped. And Tara, being her aunt and being magical, because they have that bond, realizes this. She knows that something's wrong, and her crystal ball lights up to let her know that the young lady is in jeopardy. So without a second thought, Tara pops in out of thin air, literally, and saves her niece, but she also curses the boys.
Rightfully
Meanwhile, yes, and they're filming. So they put this video on TikTok and it goes viral.
Oh.
So now all witches are, the extent of the powers are exposed. Tara is called before the witch council, and to punish her, to teach her a lesson, they strip Tara of her powers.
Oh, no.
In the meantime, the sister, Tara's sister, Trinity's aunt, out of revenge, has been trying to master magic and has been kind of playing around with dark magic and has inadvertently summoned the Witch of Endor, who then possesses her body. And now this entity is going after Tara right at the time that Tara has no powers and can't fight back magically. So I'll leave you with that. So we have several levels of interest here.
Because of the heavy subject matter of this film, was this one of the biggest challenges as an actress that you've ever had?
Definitely. And I'm working on my acting. I'm trying to get more natural, but all within the confines of magic. I mean, I take inspiration from some of the magical films that we've had. The Craft is a favorite of mine. Of course, Charmed, not the reboot, but the first 3 seasons of Charmed, where we have the dichotomy of the 3 sisters. So, there's magic. And I selected the Witch of Endor because we really don't know much about her. And I always wanted a big battle between Tara Ward, who is, for all intrinsic purposes, a good witch, a worker of light magic and white magic, fighting another witch who's of the dark universe. So I wanted to play that out. And as you know, if you've seen the other films, I know you have, but I try to handicap her in some way because at the end, it's about the core values of everybody's human, even if they are a witch, and dealing with life from that perspective. I want to see Tara have to be at her wit's end with how is she going to fight this incredibly powerful biblical sorceress when she has no power. So there's a great chase scene where I'm literally running through the woods, and we filmed this in East Palatka on a farm.
Oh, wow.
And we filmed until 4 a.m, because you know what overnight shoots are like. And I'm just running, and because there's nothing I can do, I don't know how I'm going to overcome this. I'm
so intrigued by this film now. It's such a different direction. It's
a new level.
Yeah.
And I feel different about this. I had a new male director, Chad Wengel, who has won multiple awards. He actually did a movie about a leprechaun. Oh. And I always kid him and I say, well, this isn't too much of a stretch. You went from leprechauns to witches.
Yeah.
Sure, why not? It's all in the magical continuum of the universe that we're in. And you have to keep in mind, my movies are only a half an hour long.
I was going to ask, is this one longer than
No,
others?
It's going to be about the same length as Time Will Tell, which is about a little over half an hour.
Okay.
In my mind, I was always making things that were episodic. So in my mind, because I didn't have the money to make a full-length feature film, I'm making my movies for maybe $25,000, $30,000.
Hard to process.
Yeah, and
you would think that's a lot of money in itself. It is a lot of money.
Well, it sure felt like it, but I had some amazing people. I had the most incredible lighting designer, who lit up these woods like it just looked so magical with the right people. Obviously, as I evolve as a filmmaker, I try to get better people. Better people are going to cost you more money, and you want to make a better film. And same with the actors. You try to get people's best performances. And it's a process. It's a journey. And you know all about it, having been there on set with me for a few of the movies. Yes.
Well, just time will tell. It's hard to believe we just worked together on one. But yeah, time will tell. I was there for most of those days filming. And that took 10 days. And this took 10 days, too.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And 10 days can feel awfully long when you're filming 10-hour days.
You're filming and you're running at 4 a.m. in the morning. And
we also had another monster in this film, and that means prosthetics and special effects, makeup artists, and oh my gosh, yes, it's a process. And obviously, when you're doing special effects, it's just it takes hours and hours of sitting in the makeup chair. Luckily for me, the gentleman that plays the Witch of Endor, and I wanted a man. I didn't use a woman. I wanted the height that a man could give, the story. He's a makeup artist himself.
Oh, wonderful.
And a couple of times we had people that got sick or got called to other gigs. And so he would finish the makeup. And it's very complicated.
Yeah.
And filming in the woods in Florida, in the heat of summer, when there's all kinds of critters out.
You had your bug spray ready?
Oh, we bathed in it, literally.
Yeah.
What I was surprised at is that even with a full face of makeup, the mosquitoes figured out that I hadn't sprayed my face.
Oh, no.
So they were coming at my face like, I was like being bombarded by dive bombers,
It's like the birds. That's what I'm imagining. The birds
it was
all coming towards
I think we could make a horror movie called Mosquito.
Oh, definitely.
But I mean, that's reality on a movie set, and you do it because you love it. And this is non-union stuff, and we're using folks that are lucky to get the work and the job and want, footage for their reels. And
right.
but I love it. I've fallen in love with film. I love it. I love every aspect of it. It's a journey. It's a struggle, but that's what makes it rewarding at the end. So I hope people love this new film. I'm looking forward to premiering it. I'd like to do another charity event.
Yes.
Where we charge money, but it doesn't go to me to pay back my expenses. It goes to help the animals. We raised $3,000 at last year's premiere. I'd love to top that. So,
do you have the date planned for the premiere?
I do not. I'd love to have it sandwiched between Practical Magic 2, which comes out in September, and what's the movie that comes out in November? Hexed.
Hexed. Oh.
Disney's animated film called Hexed comes out for the Thanksgiving holiday. So I'd love to take October.
Yeah, take October. That's the month of Halloween.
One would think, yes, I know.
That's your prime spot.
You betcha.
They gave up on it. That's yours now.
That's what we're aiming for. I figure Halloween, great time for witches, although witches are good all of the year long. So, I would love to sell tickets and make some money for either Ayla's Acres or Murphy's Kittens or SAFE, which is Saving Animals from Euthanasia. Animal causes are near and dear to my heart. So I love giving back to the community. I do get a thrill out of it. It's great to be philanthropic. And I make these movies. I started making these movies for my benefit as an actress. I wanted to learn about film, and you learn by doing. So, I'm semi-retired. I still have my voiceover work that I do, which has helped me to pay for my movies. So it's been an experience, but it's one that I treasure and one that I love. And thank you for letting me talk about this on your podcast.
I've been so excited to learn more about this. All I had seen is the poster, and that post about the filming had been wrapped. So I had no idea what it was about, and I'm now even more excited to see the film at the premiere. And as you said, the money goes to very important, great causes. It's really a beautiful thing for you to give back and help pets and dogs. And
I wish that I could have had my black cat Raven. I would have loved to have her in the film, because when you see the trailer for Practical Magic 2, Nicole Kidman is cradling a black cat. And I would have loved to have done that with my cat, but any cat owner knows
costs too much.
Good luck. Well, her agent, her high fee, to be in my movie. I still have not seen a rough cut. That's out in about 2 weeks.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I will get to see how these ideas translated on the screen. And so we'll see. I mean, I could be optimistic for no reason, but I don't know. I have a good feeling about this one. And, in tribute to Labyrinth, and again, I know you're not a horror girl, but Labyrinth was a marvelous creature movie. And kind of in homage to them, I took the idea of having this ancient witch's eyes of being on her palms. So part of the makeup process was, they're called sclera contacts. Arnold Beaulieu plays the Witch of Endor. But I mean, what we had to do is block out his real eyes. And then we have the prosthetic eyes on his palms.
Oh, wow.
So it's very demonic to watch him kind of contort. Because I mean, I'm not using CGI, so the actors do their own stunts in my movies at this point. I think of myself as Tom Cruise in that regard.
Yes.
In my dreams, but
hey, you were running at 4 a.m. That's a Tom Cruise move.
And they actually told me I was pretty fast for an old gal. And I said, well, I did track back in high school when dinosaurs roamed the earth.
Oh my God.
We were running to get away from the dinosaurs. So yeah. I hope people like it as much as I do, as much as I enjoyed making it. We'll see what the response. There's this new trend of indie filmmakers like Curry Barker with Obsession and the weapons movie that came out, and Hollywood is taking notice because social media and various platforms are changing and evolving the way we see movies and how we pay attention to them and how you market them. And you never know. I mean, I think it gives indie filmmakers hope that people that are underrated or, have been undiscovered, maybe one day the footage will fall into the right hands and get seen by the right people. And it just takes one to change your fortune and things turn on a dime. So especially now.
The indie voices getting a chance is a big deal, and it is very much hopeful.
There's remarkable talent out there. Just because you're not a Hollywood name doesn't mean you can't act. And we're proving that. I'm a big believer in the Cinderella story. Unknown one day and then marquee legend the next. It doesn't happen quite that fast. But filming in my home, asking my friends to be in my movies, saving money that way.
Sometimes, this is another new Hollywood type of thing. You bring in people who aren't actors, and they're actually great. I mean, Paul
really
Thomas
good.
Anderson did it for one battle after another. So
they're really good because they don't have that preconceived notion of I should be acting.
Yeah.
And they're very natural.
Exactly.
Which is what film needs.
I know your previous films go through different film festivals around the world.
They do.
Are you going to do the same for
I hope to. I mean, I actually have won a couple of awards in Tokyo. I mean,
really?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I mean, you never know who's going to see your movie or who's going to like it. Because you just submit. You do blanket submissions, and of course, every submission costs money.
Yeah.
Film is a very cost-prohibited idea. It just is because everything costs money now. Everything.
Yes.
But with Practical Magic 2 coming out, I'm thinking witches are hot again. Let's capitalize on that. Everybody's going back to witches.
Witches are back.
Yeah, witches are back and better than ever.
That's right. Witches are back better than ever. Let's see. So the premiere date is to be determined.
Correct.
I'll let you all know when that release date is out for the premiere. And is there a place, is it your website where people can stay tuned to find out more?
Yes, I can be. I will probably be doing updates there or online. Facebook. I don't know.
Facebook. Yeah. Instagram.
Witch Talk.
Witch Talk. Yes, that's great. I always want to end with the question: is there a film recommendation, a line from a film, really anything you would like to conclude our episode with today?
Wow, a film recommendation. Ooh, I need to put my witch's hat on for that. I need my thinking cap. Oh, I'm trying to think of something that I've seen that has invariably changed me. One of my favorite films growing up, and I don't know if Julia Roberts has had an amazing career.
Yeah.
One of my favorite films, and it kind of embraces girlhood and all of the magic, not literally, but figuratively. I always enjoyed Mystic Pizza. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
No, I've seen it. It's been a while, but I've seen so many clips for Mystic Pizza on Instagram lately. That's a good one. That's a hidden gem of Julia Roberts, probably.
Well, she was just starting, and she was amazing even then. But there's a cautionary tale of her sister in the movie has an affair with a married man. Of course, she doesn't know he's married. And her last name is Gish, and she's the granddaughter, I believe, of Lillian Gish, the silent film actress. And it's a traumatic realization of real life, what can happen. But most of the movie is very joyous and very embracing girlhood and the unity of friends and sisters. So I loved that movie. And it may seem a little light. It's not like a heavy, death of a salesman type of thing. But it was, to me, what other movies have been to you, where you watch it over and it resonates on a level. I'm trying to think of something more deep. I mean, like I said, Obsession, I watched for performances. I think actors should watch a variety of films, even if it takes them out of their comfort zone. And a lot of the horror movies have some really good acting. And I'm not much of a horror buff. Today's movies, you just go to a horror film, there's going to be blood and guts and gore. And why is an animal always harmed?
They don't need to be harmed ever in films.
No, and it's like every movie. It's almost become a trope.
That must be stopped.
I agree. Because I guess the horror elevates in a way. So they always,
it's
awful.
Find
it's
something
awful.
else.
Yeah, I mean, If you agree with us, please let us know.
Yes, I'm sure most people would not want to see an animal harmed. Tarantino himself won't even go there in his films.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
That should say something.
Yes. Yeah. We don't need, the cat or dog in the movie,
They live happily ever after.
And tying it back to young adult, Dolce lives.
Dolce lives,
He
yes.
lives.
Dolce
There's
lives.
no harming of the little dog.
Dolce has a good ending.
Yes, he does.
Dolce gets attention and love.
One of my favorite scenes in the movie is just for more of the comedic aspect is when she's the hotel clerk, when she's checking into that Die Hard motel and she has Dolce's bag, his carriers up on the countertop. And he's, making little dog sounds and moving around. And the clerk says to Charlize, Mavis, is there a dog in there? And Mavis just deadpans and goes, no. And you're hearing,
yeah, there's the growling of the bag right next to her. That's such a great
and the
shot.
moving of the bag, and they're just the two of them are. It's almost a stare down.
Yeah, it's a Western standoff. You see the tumbleweed essentially,
where the clerk absolutely knows there's a dog in that bag, and it's Charlize daring her to say anything further or not believe what she said. There's not a dog in there. No, there's not. No dog. No dog. I don't know what you're talking about.
I have a dog in my vehicle.
Yes, yeah. It's not in that bag. She's waiting for the challenge, the kickback.
I'm so happy you mentioned that scene. That's such a great, funny moment. And
it's a more fun moment in the movie, for sure.
One of the funnier scenes early on in the film. Speaking of Charlize, of course, I would recommend Tully. It's the second collaboration between Charlize Theron, Jason Reitman, and Diablo Cody, the screenwriter. That was released 7 years later in 2018.
And what is that about? Give me one sentence.
It is about the challenges and stressors that come with motherhood.
Oh.
I rewatched it.
That's
just
ironic.
The other night. Yes.
Given young adult.
Oh, yes. And I rewatched the other night and I found several similarities, which is very interesting.
Oh.
Just to name a few, both of Charlize's characters don't take very good care of themselves, are lonely, feel empty, and watch what some call trash TV.
Oh.
It's a very good film with the reviews pointing to Tully as being the better film.
Oh.
But those thinking of having children may want to steer clear of it.
Oh, boy. So it's like birth control on film.
Yes. Yes. It's a harsh reality. And Charlize again gives another great performance that I think was considered up for an Oscar, but it never got the nomination. So another again fell short, unfortunately. But
is she a mother in real life?
Yes, she adopted two
adopted.
Kids. Yes, adopted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did not give birth.
No, she has not given birth herself, but she.
And I asked that in terms of an actress preparing for a role.
Yeah, you would think that she did, given her performance. Like she's excellent in the film.
I'm sure there's leaky boobs and lactating scenes.
Yes, there's a scene. There's
I'm
sure.
Some of that. Yeah. I'm sure, and baby throw up and all of that fun stuff.
Yes, and maybe an iPhone dropped on a baby.
Oh, perfect, wonderful. So continue with your list of must watch.
Oh well, that's all I have for this one.
And Odyssey coming out.
Odyssey, I will be going to see it tomorrow night. It's the biggest film of the year for me. Nolan, if you know me through this podcast, you know I'm a Nolan loyalist. So obviously I will be there opening night.
There it is.
And I'm sure I'll be talking about it, whether it be the next episode or future episodes or just continuously, like I do Oppenheimer, really.
Okay.
So really all of Christopher Nolan films. So stay tuned for that. Vesta, thank you again very much for joining me today.
My pleasure. Always a delight to see you, Elizabeth, catch up and talk all the things film.
Yes, it's always a wonderful time to see you as well. And thank you all for listening. And Vesta, life, here we come. Bye,
Touché.
everyone. Special thanks to Vesta Millard, Connor Overbay, Monique Madrid, and Cecilia Muller. This episode was recorded on July 15th, 2026.